Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining the Advantages Middle East Family Information Hour. Every 2 weeks, we meet on Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. to discuss education-related topics. Our objective is to empower families with timely and accurate information about the opportunities and resources available in the communities we serve. Our special guests this week are two of our very own. Our Student Services Coordinator, Reham Zia, will give you a brief walk through her incredible journey from an online student to completing a double major at Southern New Hampshire University. Reham will also discuss how she is opening opportunities for Advantages Middle East students to pursue their interests and passions beyond the school curriculum. Our head of elementary and middle school, Ms. Marie Borelli, is also with us. Ms. Maria is regarded as one of the most talented and knowledgeable online educators in the region. Ms. Maria will give a demo class today, just a touch of what your children will experience with an Advantages education. Now, for those of you joining us for the first time, allow me to introduce our Executive Director, Ms. Gloria Brown. In the world of homeschooling and online education, Gloria is one of the region's most sought-after experts. Gloria?
Thank you, Jeffrey. Good morning, everyone. It's so good to see everyone here. Welcome to another one of our family information hours. And for nearly a decade, Advantages International School has served as a resource for families and students, ensuring that students receive a high-quality education as living as expats, and we're serving over 30 different countries now as Advantages International School. So in January of this year, when Jeffrey and I met and founded Advantages Middle East and partnering with our U.S. school, Advantages International, and we founded Advantages Middle East. So our mission from day one has been to make high quality education accessible to families in the communities that we serve. So within the last 8 months, we've served over 100 students. And now we're expanding our brand across the Middle East and into Africa. A couple of weeks ago, I was in Kenya to speak at a homeschool conference, and Advantages Middle East and our philosophy for education was enthusiastically accepted. So we're very excited about that. And Advantages Middle East is fully accredited and recognized by colleges and universities across the world. Our high school diplomas and transcripts can be delivered fully attested and stamped. Our first graduate has been accepted into Middlesex University here in Dubai. And with further ado, let me introduce our Student Services Coordinator, Ms. Reham Zia. Go ahead, Reham.
Hi, everybody. I'm so excited to be a part of our Family Information Hour today. Today, I'll be sharing a lot of different things about my journey and also, what I'm going to be doing now working with Advantages. So I'm really excited. Thank you, Ms. Gloria.
You can take over now, Reham.
Perfect. I'm just going to find my screen share tools. Give me 1 second. It's always like a little pause that I need to do. Okay, I think here it is. Can everyone see my screen okay? Can everyone hear me okay? That's a really big question.
Yes, ma'am.
Hope you. Wonderful. Well, I'm so excited to be a part of our Family Information Hour today. I am particularly sharing my journey from an online learner to who's been through that path, who's been through all the stereotypes, who's been through all of those little, what if it's not going to work out? What if it's, So I'm here to tell you that it's all going to work out and share with you kind of the nitty-gritty experiences that I've had and how that has led me now to be doing so many different things and all that sort of stuff. So I can't wait to dive deep into some things that I probably haven't shared with people that I know as well. So this is really exciting for me. All right, first up, some more information about me. I have been born and raised in the UAE my entire life. My current my specialization is environmental science with a focus in natural resources and conservation. And I like to tie in my educational background with what I like to offer for the community. So a lot of what I like to do relates to sustainability and people. So I love for nature and people, and I love to connect that in my educational, I want to say field, and bringing that together in some way or the other. So I'm really excited. My journey actually started way before COVID, but my on-field journey started during COVID, during the pandemic, where I found people to be in a situation that I have been in, where things have moved virtual. What are we going to do? And because I was so equipped with my learning experiences, I was able to do a lot of my, teaching and fundraising and all those kinds of things during this time pretty easily because of the tools that I've had during my education. So it really brought me to a point where I was very, I knew what to do, what to use, how to use it, making people engaged in the virtual world, where in a time where people didn't really feel engaged. And I could see where things were lacking in different schools and communities here, but we all were brought together, of course, by the virtual world. So during my time, I coached 3 seasons of debate and writing competitions, and I'm still coaching, so that's really exciting. And I was able to bring homeschoolers in the top 5. But that's not the surprising part, It's not surprising at all that our homeschoolers can get there. It's about opening up those opportunities for homeschoolers, because we have some really bright kids in our community, amazing kids. It's just that they're not pushed to do these big things, And I found that I was surprised at first at how many people were not excited to do this, and then later on understand the worth and how important it is for us to be part of these amazing initiatives that are here. There's so many. I am also a public speaking coach and mentor, and so I teach a lot of workshops and courses. And I'm going to save that information for the end because I have some exciting news to share about public speaking later on. Now, here are some stereotypes and myths that come about when people talk about homeschooling and online education. It's always, there's probably no opportunities for my child. Universities won't accept them. People always bring up the disadvantages of why you shouldn't do something. When you start a new path, that's what happens. Disadvantages, what are the cons? But we're here to talk about the advantages of learning. And of course, tying in what is not offered with what we can offer with you in partnership with you and with families and parents and students. So, the journey that you take is so unique. And people assume, okay, you do this, then you do this, and then university, amazing, everything is so easy and smooth. Anything in life is not smooth. There's always those little roadblocks that come in the way, and everyone has their own unique roadblocks or any sort of up and down in their life. But it's about how you approach it. And one thing that I've learned during this time and that I really want to bring up is people often say that in traditional environments, you've not been taught something. People always bring it up in a discussion. Oh, in school I wasn't taught X, Y, and Z. And really, I didn't have that because when I was learning in my online environment at the time when I was studying in middle and high school, I was trying out so many different things. And that credit goes to my mom because people think that you should do one thing that you have to figure out when you're a little kid. No, you're supposed to try every single thing that's available to you. And that was only possible because I was being homeschooled. And I was given this little path, like, okay, what do you want to do now? What are you feeling like doing today? What are you in the mood to explore today is the right term. And the flexibility and the freedom not only was in what I was choosing, but also my time. I was able to save my time. I was able to say, okay, I need to focus on this right now, and I want to save this rest of the time of the day to do big things and to explore opportunities. Now, homeschooling is a joint effort. It is not going to be fully reliant on one person. Like here, all the work goes to a parent, all the work goes to a teacher. In fact, it's a community effort. We're supposed to work together and match the goals that we have of all of the students around us and parents and families, and to provide those things. And we know how difficult it is to find opportunities for kids for them to grow, for them to explore different pathways. And we would like, as advantages, we would like to take that load off of you and work with you and bring all these things to the table, so you have to work a little less and find these things. I was in that spot. I really could never find, sometimes could never find opportunities. And I used to struggle to be like, oh, but they're doing that, I'm doing this. And that was like a little while, you know? And after some time of exploring everything, which I have to, you know, reinstate every few minutes, because it's not that you have to figure out something and that's it. You have to explore different things. I didn't like math at all. You know, Miss Maria here will tell you all about my math skills, which is 0. And I really did not have any math skills. And my mom was like, hey, there's a math competition coming up. Let's take part in that. And we did that. I was never a good speaker. And I got pushed into doing all those different things that I thought I could not do. But I figured out along the way, actually, it was just my mindset. You know, it was just how I thought about the situation. And there was a gap when I was studying, and now I want to bridge this gap with you and work together to empower our families and bring out events and opportunities that, you know, impact the growth and progress of your child. So I'm excited to show you all of that. But first, if I didn't convince you already with all my talk, I want to show you where it all began. This is me right during the time of starting my homeschool journey. And it's really fun to show, because it's like, oh, like, you know, you must have big dreams. No, my dreams were like set that I couldn't do so and so. I can't do this and I can't do that, because all of my experiences traditionally were academically related. So if I was not progressing academically, then that's it for me. Whereas that wasn't the case. Please don't read my poem here. It is, that's a long time ago. But yes, this is my time. This is the time when I was exploring different things. Here I'm at an event, you know, a function where they showcase different creatures. I painted. So I explored a lot in this time. Again, I means we. My mom and I really worked together, and she used to be like, go here, and I'd be like, oh. So when your child says no at this age, let me tell you something. Push that child to do it, because you never know what can click. You never know what small thing, a painting workshop, holding an eagle, how that has, you know, shapes you as a person. And at this point in life, I was so shy. I couldn't even talk to the person next to me, let alone on stage, in a Zoom meeting, in any environment. I was so shy. And as you can see, that changed. Why? Because I was pushed into doing so many different things I didn't want to do, and I still don't want to do sometimes, but they really, really helped. And this you know, aspect of my life changed immensely from here to here. And not limiting your child and limiting, oh, my child only likes Lego, so I'm going to only put my child in Lego base. No, try to explore. I know it's difficult and they are not going to appreciate you, but it amounts to something. And as you can see in most of these pictures, I'm holding a microphone. I'm on stage. I'm doing something like that, or I'm speaking in front of a camera. And that all came about because of the different things that I explored and I took part in, and all those kind of things. This is an event in Dubai. I was still pretty young here, but I explored that and I found that, okay, maybe I'm not good at it right now, but I could potentially be good at it. So this really, really, you know, helped. And I found out that, wow, learning online has benefits, because maybe you don't see it at first, but it's a lot of skill building happening behind the scenes. A lot of, okay, when should I communicate this? How should I mention this to someone? What are my skills and so and so? Where am I lacking? Let's work on that. I have time to work on the things that I'm lacking in. So believe and you will achieve, because this is possible. You never know what Einstein is going to come out of your child. You know, it's you never know. And your child could be and is great, has capabilities, but just needs the environment that caters to that nurtures that. So here's some of the initiatives I was a part of during my journey, and that I'm still a part of now. But a lot of these things really shaped my interests. But again, these are these are a collection of things that I have been doing. Behind that, there's so many things that I've done that I'm not even put up here, like beach cleanups and so many events and pushes from my family to do things I didn't want to do. And again, that amounts to something. So believe in the end goal. People are going to come in your way, and it's not that we didn't have people blocking us and people not supporting this journey. There were lots of that. So I think what really stood the ground for me was my mom, my family. If my mom doubted the journey, I would have doubted the journey from day one. But through my doubts, she'd be like, no, it's going to work out. You know, there's a plan for everything. There's a path. Let's just follow this path and let's see where it leads. And it led somewhere. So just believe in that. And as a parent, I would say you have the power to really just stand your ground, be like, we're going to do this. We're going to give it a shot, and give it that shot. Don't leave it midway. Don't do that, because your child will anyway do that as a growing person. So having someone who does not doubt things, who does not let anything come in their way, who does not let a small little stereotype change their whole game, that really shapes you. So just keep that in mind. That really helped me. And with all these experiences, I wanted to create something with advantages that helps you not worry about, where do I look? Where do I find so-and-so? How do I take part in this? And so together, we would love to work with you on these amazing things that we have planned that are coming up. We have World Literacy Day. It's going to be an event for everybody to come, families, all age groups. You know, we're going to have a day of fun, exploring different things. There's some campaigns coming up before that. So keep your social media nice and active. We're going to have a teen summit coming up, parent coffee meetups, field trips. We're going to have a lot of virtual events for students. So our virtual students, you're going to have a lot of things that we're going to take part in on Zoom and in our, classroom environment. So it's not only going to be in person or only virtual. We're going to try to tie those in together as much as possible. World Food Day. So we're going to get some cultural foods and a nice event where everyone can dress up as their, traditional wear. So many amazing things. SAT boot camp, talent show at the end of the semester, student newsletter for our students that are enrolled with us. We're going to have them work together every single week and then produce an amazing newsletter which shows all their interests and everybody's amazing hobbies in one place. And we are going to do a lot with that, but also in terms of courses, we would love to offer public speaking as a course, because I know that it is lacking in the community sometimes, and we would love to offer it for students. And you can enroll in that, see how you find it. It's going to be semester based. We're going to have different activities in there. And I think I have so many people that have already been a part of my public speaking courses in the past joined in today, so they'll tell you that push your child. Really do that, because it will amount to something at some point. It may not be tomorrow, it may be a few years, but your child will get there. And they're geniuses in our community, so many geniuses. And we would love to support that and support your child and their learning journey, and also their skill journey as well, because that's so important, because that's the main thing that takes you to the university and career level. And that's it with me. Thank you so much for listening. Here's my email address if you'd like to contact me. But I'm so excited to see so many familiar faces and some new faces and see where this takes us. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Rehan. Thank you very, very much. It was a very, very inspiring message. And, we're very, very fortunate to have you to mentor our students and to guide our students and to show them all the things that are possible. You're quite an inspiration to our entire community. And we'd like to move on now and bring up our head of elementary and middle school, Maria. Miss Maria, you all set?
Yes, I am. Hello, and good morning, everyone. I just wanted to say that was a wonderful speech, Reham. I really loved listening to all of your experiences, and it was inspiring, and it's echoing a lot of the things that I really want to bring forward too, as well in this meeting today. So the first thing that I would like to do is just introduce myself so that people know who I am. And so in doing that, we're going to go into something called Nearpod, which is a platform that allows us to do some lessons. We're going to do a quick demo today so that you can kind of get an idea as to what the live lessons might be looking like in Advantages Middle East. So what I want to do now is to just share a link here that everyone can join into. So go ahead and join into that link now so that you can see what we're going to do. And I am going to go ahead and start presenting my screen to you now. So I'll go ahead and share my screen. Here we are. And let's have a look at what we're going to talk about today. So let me just expand my screen. There we go. So my name is Miss Maria Borelli, and the OCT after my name means Ontario College of Teachers or Ontario Certified Teacher. So that means that I am overseen by the body and Ministry of Education in Ontario. So I am the head of elementary and middle school. And what I would like to do is just introduce myself to you today on both a personal but also a professional level for you. I think it's important to see both so that there's a balance between the two, so that we can see the person as a whole. So when I look at your child, I look at them as a whole person. I don't look at only the academic aspect of who they are. And so I think it's also important that they know who I am as well. So I'm going to go ahead and start and give you a little background about who I am and what I have been doing in my career. So I've been an educator for the last 20 years. So I have 20 years of experience in both education and leadership. I have 4 years of experience working online in online learning, and then 10 years of experience in the UAE. And then on top of that, 15 years of international experience, all encompassing 20 years. And teaching was my dream and my passion. It is my passion. Educating is my passion. So I'm very, very into the caring and humanistic approach to education. And so this has brought me forward to becoming an online teacher because I think that this is our way of getting things combined. You know, we've got our real life and then we also have our virtual life as well. So I studied in the United States, in Canada, and Dubai. I'm certified in Ontario and British Columbia both. I'm passionate about education, humanitarianism, multiculturalism, a holistic approach to education equality, and team-oriented approach to teaching and learning, which is something that Riham mentioned quite a bit. She mentioned her mom's involvement in her education. And I think it's very important to build a team amongst us all so that we can give and provide the very best we possibly can to each and every individual child. My students are my top priority, and their emotional, social, and academic development are surmount to everything. Now, if you notice the sequence that I have written that in, I have not put academics first. I have put emotional and social first because they are human beings first and foremost, and their academic development comes from that. And so I believe that the whole child needs to be taught and the whole child needs to be developed. So that is the part of who I am as an educator and how I see your child. I am happy to help to the best of my ability. I will help as much as I possibly can. I believe strongly that education should be fun, engaging, hands-on, and differentiated to meet the needs of individuals. Now, I've put individuals in capital letters because not every child is the same. There's no cookie cutter kind of educational system that fits every single child. And so we as educators have to individualize and differentiate the system for that individual child. I don't look at a whole class. I look at each child in the class. I look at their emotional, social, and academic development. And for me, that is absolutely the most important. And that is me as an educator. Now, as I'm going on, if I talk to you a little bit about who I am on a personal level, it's very important for you to understand that who I am on a personal level impacts what I do in my classroom. So Riham talked quite a bit about her mom and her mom's impact on her life. My mom has made a giant impact on my life. And at this moment in her life, my mom is 86 years young. And so being an online educator allows me flexibility to stay home with my mom and take care of her and be with her in these later years of her life. Because we know that heaven is at the feet of our mother. Our mother is very, very important. And so when we think about that, and as I said, talking about the entire group of people coming together to educate one child, this is something that's very important. And so for me, taking care of my mom is very, very important to me. And so allowing me to do that by having an online job is very important, and it helps me to be who I am as an educator for you. In addition to that, I have a very ill brother. And so being an online educator helps me to travel back and forth. And this can also help you to understand that this goes for you as well. If you have something going on in your life, being in an online system helps you to navigate school, socialization, everything together, and you can do it all. It gives you that ability to just do it all, to be able to really, get to have a balanced life. And that's what we all strive for, is that balanced life. Okay, I'm also a fur mama, and this really is something that the children enjoy because I often bring them into my lessons and we have a lot of fun with that together. So I have 4 rescue animals that stay in my house. We are very much promoting empathy and compassion. And when you adopt animals, when you take care of parents, when you take care of siblings, when you take care of your family, this is how we develop empathy, compassion for people. And so when I show my students that this is who I am modeling that for them. And for me, that's very, very important, that I am the best person that I can be, not for myself, but for my students, so that I am the role model that they look to. All right. So that being said, let us get into, let me just put that up there. Let me just get into the lesson for today. So our demo lesson is all going to be about growth mindset. And you heard Reham touching on that in her presentation. She touched on, how she grew and how online education helped her to grow as an individual, and that she started out from this small child that was very shy, and she blossomed into this beautiful, educated, well-rounded human who's become an integral part of our society. And that's what growth mindset does for us. So I wanted to just go through this. Now I'm going to go through the lesson a little bit quickly. This is just an overview of that lesson. All right. This is just kind of like a little snapshot of what you're going to see. And I might skip through some things, but that's okay, because you can always come back, sign up for a lesson, and come and see the rest of this lesson in its entirety. So without further ado, let's get into that for today. Okay. So the lesson objectives for today's lesson, and when you join us later to finish it off, would be, and you have to know this about me, I always overplan. And so sometimes my lessons overlap. And that's just because I'm so excited about education that I want to give you everything I possibly can. And then I just kind of cram it in there. And then I'm like, oh, wow, that was just a lot longer than I expected. So you have to bear with me on that a little bit. Now, by the end of this lesson, you're going to identify the differences between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. You're going to learn the steps for success in learning a new skill, and you're going to apply skills and reflect on your own mindset and learning experience. Now, by the end of this lesson, you may not get to all of this because this is a shortened demo lesson, but if you join us at the next one, you're going to really love it, and you'll get to all of these objectives. Now, what I wanted to do is just to show you a little bit about what growth mindset is about. And I'm doing this in the format of how our lessons might be. So I can use this format to teach math, science, social studies, whatever subject can be used, and Nearpod can be used to bring that lesson forward. So I'm using it as an example, but I'm also teaching a little lesson at the same time on growth mindset, and that is encompassing both what Reham has said and what I have said. She and I are a great team, so when we get together, we get those ideas flowing really nicely, and this is to come together with what she has said. So let's get into this. My rules and procedures for online lessons are always going to be the same, all right? And usually when I start the school year, I also get the students' input. So these are the rules that I start with, but when we get into our lessons, all right, in the beginning of the year, we do something called essential agreements, and we bring all of the children's ideas and we put together our own essential agreements as a class. But for today, we're only going to start with these rules because these are mine. So, and these will be included in the essential agreements for the children. So please raise your hand to ask permission before opening your mic. The button is located at the bottom bar of your Zoom screen. Ooh, I spelled screen wrong. I'm so sorry. I didn't see that. Sorry. We all make mistakes and we learn from those mistakes, and that's what this lesson is about, okay? Now, always be kind and respectful to your teachers and friends. Stay positive and have fun. Always try your best, and remember that we learn best when we make mistakes and learn from those mistakes. Everybody makes them. I make them, you make them, your parents make them. Everybody makes mistakes. We learn from them and we keep building and moving forward. And that is what growth mindset is all about. So let's have a peek. What we're going to do today, we're going to talk a little bit about finding success. Every person needs to be able to find their success. We can find success in many ways. Often success comes from identifying your own skills. Some people, if you ask them, some people my age, you say to them, what are you good at? And they go, I don't know. Well, you have to explore that, right? And that's part of growth mindset. Even people my age don't have any idea. And so it's very important at a young age to help children to explore that, all right? So often success comes with identifying your skills or your passions. You may be skilled at many things like painting, math, and playing guitar. However, your skills may not have developed overnight. Okay, you probably have worked hard at it, and skills evolve as you make mistakes and grow. So let's explore how the right mindset can help you to succeed. So what I want you guys to do now is to just take a moment and try to do a little match, okay? So you're gonna match the words and definitions about growth mindset to unpack important vocabulary that will help you to learn in this lesson. So basically what you're going to do here, I'm gonna hide my instructions. You're gonna find a word, all right? And then you're gonna match it to the definition. So I'm gonna give you a minute to do that now. And what I'm gonna do is just move this over to the side, and I'm gonna have a look at the teacher view, okay? So what I'm gonna do is hide your names so nobody can see what you're doing. A lot of people get a little shy about that, okay? So don't worry, nobody can see your results, but I can see your results, and this helps me so that I can go ahead and continue on, okay? So go ahead and start, give it a go, and let's see what you know already and what you're gonna learn about by getting that vocabulary learned. So I'll give you about 30 more seconds to give it a little go, and then we'll move on. All right, so I'm gonna stop you right there because it gives you an idea of what you're about to do. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna show you the answers. So these are the answers. Now, when I use this kind of a tool in my lessons, I usually tell students, take a screenshot of this and you can study the words for later. You can have them on hand as you're going through the lesson, because Nearpod allows us to give you a link of the self-paced lesson. So if the lesson went a little too quickly for you, you can always review that lesson later on with that self-paced Nearpod. And then this will help you to understand the answers so that you can go back and memorize them or study them as you see fit. So oftentimes when I'm memorizing vocabulary, I use flashcards. So I would tell the students, make some flashcards up so that you understand, what those words are, because unpacking vocabulary is very, very important to learning a new skill, okay? So, and getting into a new lesson. So let's move on now and let's have a look at this. So what you're going to do now, let me just change my view to student view. What you're going to do now is you are going to draw or import something that you're good at, two things. So what I usually tell students to do is they can use these tools at the bottom here. You can import an image from Google. So let's say you might not be that, maybe you don't enjoy drawing, or maybe you're not that good at it yet. You can go ahead and import images there. And I usually tell students that they can do that. So for me, I love music. So I'm a musician. I sang in the Dubai Opera. So, and I'll show you guys that link at one point in the year. So here you go. There's my musical notes. All right, that indicates music. So you can do the same. You can draw pictures, you can write words, you can do whatever you want. So let's have a peek. Once you're done, hit submit. Perfect. I see somebody's really great at reading, and that makes me so happy. I see Ray. She loves painting, writing, speaking, and learning. Fantastic. Roberto, I would love to see what Roberto is into and what Hind is into. Ooh, somebody's a musician. I love that. Ooh, somebody's good at dancing. Awesome. Maybe you can teach me and help me to grow in my ability to dance. All right, guys. So if everybody could just hit submit. All right, so we can see your submitted work. Oh, reading, family, and poetry. Fantastic. Amazing. Just hit the submit button and then we'll go through, we'll see everybody's work and we'll have a peek at it, okay? So I'm going to start with Julinar. Julinar says reading, family, and poetry. Fantastic. Okay, let me put it up there. And we've got, oops, I'm so sorry. All right. And we've got dancing from Mom. We've got Ray Ray who says painting, speaking, learning, and writing. Fantastic. Give yourself a pat on the back. Good job. Ooh, being silly. Roberto says being silly. I love silly people and I love silly students in my class because I'm silly too. So fantastic. I love that. Learning about music and history. Great. We've got a lot in common there, Roberto. So let's go through and see, did we catch everybody's? Oh, we didn't see Hen's yet. I think she's getting the hang of it, but that's okay. And Allah as well has submitted something here. So in class, sometimes we would be, opening mic and sharing. Yeah, that's what we would be doing in this kind of a presentation. But for today, it's just a demo. I'm just giving a little snapshot. Now, I'd like you to tell me and do the same thing, showing what 2 things that you would like to improve on, okay? So go ahead and do that now. I'll give you 30 seconds and then we'll move on. Writing. That's a good one, Roberto. Dancing, Mom says. Good. When things don't go your way and how to react to them, that's really good. That's a social skill, Ray Ray. They're a very good goal. And how to react, how to improve that. Yep, great. Socializing, Jolinar says. Well, we can help you with that at Advantages, that's for sure. Giving more to friends and family, giving more time to friends and family. That's another thing that Advantages can help you with because it gives you more time to spend with your family. Perfect. So Allah has submitted Emirati Women's Day. All right, getting involved in community projects and things. Fantastic. I love that. And we've got Hind. She says setting boundaries. That's really important. Setting boundaries is something I'm working on too. Everybody's working on a skill. Setting boundaries is so important for you. So that's a great goal. Socializing, dancing, when things don't go your way and how to react and improve. Fantastic. Giving more time to my friends and family and playing better solos. Ooh, that sounds good. I can help you with that. So let's move on now to the next part. What could you do to get better at the things that you want to improve on? Now, thinking back to the socializing, thinking back to the dancing, thinking back to, getting better at your solos and how to improve your socializing, how to improve how you react to things, like Ray Ray said. Go ahead and tell us how you think you might be able to improve on that. And once you do, hit submit. Practice. Yes. Let's see. We're going to share the names at this point to see who's saying these things. Mom, practice. Practice makes perfect. Perfect. Very good. All right. Working on daily habits and affirmations. Very good, Ray Ray. I love that. I love that. Very positive. Putting more effort and more mindful, and to be more mindful of little things that I can improve. Excellent. Excellent. That's exactly it. I'm going to give 20 more seconds, then we're going to move on to the next slide. For me, when I want to get better at something, I practice and I keep trying. And no matter what, even if I make mistakes, I keep going, I keep going, I keep doing. All right. Thank you. Let's move back forward through this. Now we're going to talk a little bit about what is fixed and growth mindset. Okay. So there are two mindsets that a person can have. You can have a fixed mindset or growth mindset. We want to strive for that growth mindset. Now, not everybody, it's not easy for everybody. So that's why we're going to teach you how to do that. Okay. So let's read about them on the following slides and learn about some famous failures who achieved success through determination and hard work. So a fixed mindset is a person who believes that skills and talents don't change, that people are born with them and they can do nothing to change that. Okay. Have you ever said, I'm not a good math person? You heard me say it. You heard Miss Reham say it, right? I'm not so good at drawing, I said, right? I'm not so good at math. Everybody has that fixed mindset that's in their mind, but what you have to do is alter it. All right. And you have to alter it so that your perception is changed, and that perception helps you to get better and to develop that growth mindset. All right. So that fixed mindset keeps you fixed. It keeps you from moving forward and growing. All right. So now what you need to do is you need to look at what a growth mindset is. So a person with growth mindset believes that skills and talents can be developed through dedication, practice, and hard work. A person with a growth mindset would practice improving his or her math skills until they improve. Like Ray said, she said, Miss Reham said, if my mom pushed me, she put me into that math conference and I kept on going. So at first she started off with that fixed mindset. Then she grew into the growth mindset, and look at her now. All right. That's a very good example of what growth mindset is. All right. So let's look at some examples of famous people now who did the same thing, who had that growth mindset. All right. So famous failures in the world. Albert Einstein, all right, could not speak until he was 4 years old. Some of his teachers said he would never amount to anything. And later on, he developed one of the founding principles of modern physics. Michael Jordan, the famous basketball player, was cut from his team. Can you imagine the coach, how he feels now? I cut Michael Jordan from my team. All right. He went on to becoming one of the greatest basketball players of all time because somebody told him he couldn't do it. And he's not, I can do it. I know myself. And he kept on going with that growth mindset until he developed into the most famous basketball players of all time. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper and they said he didn't have imagination or any original ideas. Walt Disney. I mean, imagine that. He pioneered American animation and industry with his cartoons and films. Those people are kicking themselves too, right? So the two mindsets, we're going to learn about the characteristics of each mindset, and we're going to do a compare and contrast. So this is the fixed mindset and a growth mindset. Somebody with a fixed mindset wants to look smart, so they avoid challenges. They see failures as a disaster. They see effort as useless for success. They ignore good feedback, and they're threatened by other people's successes. Skills can be grown. They want to learn. They love challenges. They see failures as a chance to improve. They see effort as a path to success. They learn from criticism and they're inspired by others. That is the difference between the two. All right. So now what I would like to know is I'd like to know which mindset do you think you have? So go ahead and just click that really quickly so I can get a very good quick overview, and then we're going to move on to the next slide. So some of you are saying you have a growth mindset. Fantastic. That's going to get you very far in life. How about the rest of you? Some of you are saying a fixed mindset. That is okay too, because we're going to help you to develop that. So if you have a fixed mindset, we're going to help push you along to get that growth mindset. So fantastic. I love this. Hin says fixed mindset too. A lot of students have a fixed mindset. We have to develop that in you, and we will. So let's keep going and let's learn just a little bit more. I'm going to go through this really quickly, okay? So that we can move on. So learning a new skill. Do you want to learn dance moves? We had somebody that said they want to learn dance moves, right? So do you want to learn how to play an instrument? Roberto said that he wants to learn to play solos, right? Do you want to learn a new sport? Do you want to learn to speak in public? Miss Reham talked about speaking in public and how she developed herself. Do you want to learn how to cook a meal? Do you want to learn how to juggle? Whatever it is you want to learn how to do, it often takes 20 hours to learn a new skill. So you have to be patient and you have to look at the 5 steps that I'm going to talk about that help you, okay? The first thing you need to do is you need to know what you want to learn. That's the most important, is to set that goal, to know. Then you want to think about what you might give up, okay, of why you might give up. The first few hours or days are the very hardest. Be patient and persevere. Keep going, keep moving, keep reaching. Break it down. Research the skill that you want to master and break it down into smaller parts. Then you want to focus one part at a time. And after you master that one part, you go on to the next one and you believe in yourself. That's the most important one, is the last one. You believe in yourself. This really does make all the difference. And you want to try imagining yourself having learned a new skill. In a few months, you're going to succeed. All right. So let's have a peek at this now. This is your time to climb. This is the most fun part that all of the kids love. Time to climb, Miss. Please give me time to climb. We're going to give you time to climb today. So let's get into this. I think today, because it's a summer day, we'll go to the beach. Raise your hand if you would like to go to the beach with me. If you'd like to go somewhere else, there's lots of different places we can go. So we can go to the jungle, we can go to sports, we can go to space. You can type it in the chat box if you have something other than that as well, okay? So let's see. You can either raise your hand that you want the beach, or you can type in where it is you want to go. So where do we want to go? Anybody? Going once, going twice. All right. So we're going to go to the beach then, just for time's sake. All right. But normally I give you guys a choice. So keep that in mind. Get your emoji in. Get that player in. Pick the player that you like. Do it quickly. I'm going to give you from the count of 10. 9, 8, 7, 6. Pick quickly. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fantastic. Let's go. So, pick the correct answer. Mindset is the belief that intelligence can be developed. So going to be strong, big, or growth. False. The more you challenge your mind to learn, the less your brain cells grow. Good job. You guys are doing great. Look at that. Fantastic. Lucy is frustrated because she got an answer wrong on her homework. So she gives up and thinks that she has failed and is a terrible student. Is this an example of growth or fixed mindset? A or B? I love this music. He practices running every day because he believes he can complete a marathon. Is this an example of growth or fixed mindset? Ooh, you kids are so smart. Look at that. 5 correct. Oh, you all got it. Good job. A blank mindset is when a person does not understand that learning through mistakes is the best way to learn. Is that growth or fixed? Woo, look at that. Fantastic. You guys are so smart. The following is an example of something someone with a fixed mindset could do. Desire to learn, give up easily, or knowing that I learn from my mistakes. Two more questions to go, guys. Which of the following is an example of something someone with a growth mindset would do? Loving new challenges, avoiding challenges, or ignoring feedback. when I get a question mark wrong on my work and a comment telling me on how to make it better next time by my teacher, I should get upset and cry or be happy that I know how to fix it to make it better. A or B? Woo-hoo! You guys are awesome. Round of applause. Super. Give yourselves a pat on the back. Very good job. Woo-hoo! Fantastic. Now, how did you feel about this lesson today? Was it fun and engaging? Let me know. And you can always tell me how to make it better for yourselves. You can always give me some feedback. And I always listen to feedback from my students to make it even better for next time. Fantastic. Good job, guys. Thank you for participating. Thank you. Thank you. All right, and that's it for our demo. If you want to see the rest of this, or we'll do a couple demos on some academic stuff, join in and we'll get that going for you, okay? We'll get some demos going so that you can participate in other lessons and see how fun you can have it at Advantages Middle East.
Maria, thank you very much for that sample demo lesson. It was fantastic. And, I think the adults enjoyed it quite a bit. We are planning to have at least 2 or 3 full sample classes. If you have any friends or family whose children are considering Advantages or just considering a different form of education, online education, we'll be having those within the next couple of weeks. I think we're going to do the first one next week, actually, along with some other exciting events coming up, including our Success Center open house. So very, very, and our orientation is on, Gloria, is it on Wednesday?
Wednesday. Yes, Wednesday.
Many exciting coming up. Yeah. At this time, as we normally do to wrap up, are there any questions that any of you have, any of our guests today have? Nothing is off limits.
Just to clarify, the orientation is virtual, or is that at the actual facility?
It will be virtual. Yes, okay. It'll be virtual because we have our online students and our Success Center students at the same time on Wednesday at 7. And you should have received an email about that, or you will be receiving one shortly with a link. Any other questions? Well, this session was so much fun. I know we've had some great information, family hours, and stay tuned for our next one in a couple of weeks. And that's going to be as exciting as this one. But I don't know, somebody to top Miss Maria, we would hard to beat that. So, and the recording, yes, will be emailed to everyone. We usually send this out in the next couple of days, right after we're done. So thank you so much, everyone, and Rayham for taking a part of the Family Information Hour. And we're just really excited about this coming year and the things that we've got planned for the kids online and offline at our Success Center. If you know anyone that is looking for an alternative form of education, another way that is child-centered, a way that we can bring out your child and the way that they learn, and it's with individualized lessons, please let them know that Advantages Middle East is here, and we're really excited to welcome you on board.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.